So over the last few years, we've been conducting these watch tournaments where we ask you as collectors to determine the single best watch based off of a variety of different categories. More recently, we've undergone this process of trying to figure out what is the single best watch for different brands. We did Rolex, we did Seiko. So I feel like it's time that we look at another titan of industry, Omega. How this worked was similar to previous installments. We started with an initial field of well over 100 watches to choose from, where we asked all of you to submit your top 20 watches from the list from the contemporary Omega watch collection. From there, we were able to determine the top 32 watches that appeared the most in those top 20 lists among those that participated. In this tournament, we have built out the seeds 1 through 32, with 1 being the top seed receiving the most top 20 votes, descending down from there. Now, before we present the 32 watches of the tournament, if you've not seen how videos on this channel are created, if you've ever had interest in seeing how we shoot the watches, how I shoot the videos here, the wall behind me being a set, how we ship out watches, we have a complete behind the business where I give you a tour of how all of this is done, how we manage the video content. A video like this, for example, being over 2 months in preparation to get done before I'm even able to go to camera, and then there's another 2 weeks of edit. If you wanna see how all that happens, what goes on inside the store, how we fulfill products, how we shoot watches, all of the sorts, check it out down below. We have a full behind the business video, over 35 minutes in length, full couple of days with me as I give you a guide to see a lot more what happens behind the curtain. To watch that, all you need to do is be a TeddyBaldassarre.com subscriber. It is free to join. Just fill out a couple questions and you're all good to go. If that sounds interesting to you, definitely do check it out. We're gonna be releasing more and more content every single month. Right now in the pipeline, we have around 20 different videos in post-production edit for this content on the website, so you definitely don't wanna miss it. Check out this video and a lot more. At this point right now, we have around 4 other videos coming on 5 on the website to check out as well. Okay, so to kick things off, let's look at the first 3 watches that just missed the cut of being able to enter the tournament. So to kick things off at the 35th position, so this was the 3rd one out, this is the Moonwatch Moonshine Gold Panda, coming in with 19.9% of top 20 votes. Then in 34th position, we had the Speedmaster Dark Side of the Moon. This is the older variation. This is not going to be the new Dark Side of the Moon. When we started this tournament, that one didn't exist yet, so I just wanna draw that distinction. That's a previous generation. And then for the last watch, outside looking in, is the Aquaterra Shades Edition. This got 20.4% of the top 20 vote, just missing the cut for the final 32. And with that, we look at the top 32, and for that, we have the Planet Ocean 39.5, representing the 32 seed. This is the Summer Blue Edition, receiving 20.9% of top 20 votes. Then we move to the 31 seed, the Speedmaster Moon Phase, receiving 21.7% of votes. 30 comes in with the Aquaterra Summer Blue Edition, 22.6%. 29th seed is the Aquaterra Small Seconds, 22.8%. A lot of Aquaterras so far. We're gonna see more of that as we continue. At the 28th position, we have the Seamaster 300 Blue. This is not the Diver 300, this is the Seamaster 300, the Heritage model, 23.3%. 27th position, we have the Dark Side of the Moon, receiving 23.9% of votes. This one was updated in the past couple of years, so fairly new to the collection. At the 26th position, we have the Aquaterra 41mm Moonshine Gold in green, 25.4%. A lot of Aquaterras thus far. Shifting to the 25th position, we have the Railmaster Center Seconds. The Railmaster Small Seconds, spoiler alert, did not make the cut, but this single Railmaster does make the cut. 24C, the Diver 300 meter Bronze Gold Green. This is 27.9% coming in here. 23 seed, we have the Speedmaster Pilot, fairly new face for the collection, 28.6% of top 20 votes. At the 22nd seed, we have the Aquaterra Turquoise, getting a nice jump here to cutting above 30.6% of top 20 votes. Then at the 21st position, the Diver 300M Green Ceramic Bezel, the Seaweed, coming in at 30.9%. Moving along in the next spot, we have the Speedmaster 57 receiving 32.9% of top 20 votes. The 19th seed is the Speedmaster Caliber 321, the Ed White, also known as, 33.2%. Then at the 18th position, the Globemaster 39mm, the Blue Dial variant, 33.7%. Just about getting to that halfway point in the field of 32 at the 17 seed, we have the Diver 300M Bronze Gold Burgundy, also known as the Iron Man, 34.5%. In the next position, we have the Diver 300M Black Ceramic. This is getting 35.6% of votes. Then we have the Moonshine Gold Green version, a nice jump here above 40% for the top 20 votes. Moving along, we have the Aquaterra again. This is gonna be represented by the teakwood dials, 42.4%. And then at the 13th seed, we have another Heritage Seamaster, the Seamaster 300 Black Dial, 42.5%. 12 seed is the Diver 300M Blue Ceramic Bezel and Dial, getting 42.6%. The 11 seed, another Diver 300 meter, a Bond version though, the 60th anniversary, 44.3% here. Now we enter the top 10, the Aquaterra 43mm World Timer, receiving 46.6% of top 20 votes. The 9 seed, another Diver 300M, this being the Aluminum Black, 49%, so just getting about 50% of the time, this one appearing in the top 20. 8th seed, the Diver 300M White Polar Dial, 53.9%. Then we get to the Speedmaster Moonwatch, the Hezolite version. We'll have the Sapphire and the Hezolite both participating here. 7 seed is going to be represented by the Hezolite, 60.6% of the vote. So now we're starting to see some separation with these top 7 seeds. And then at the 6th seed, we have the Aquaterra Black Lacquer. This is getting 60.8%, even edging out the Moonwatch and Hezolite for the seeding here. Pretty remarkable. At the 5th seed, we have the First Omega in Space, 61.5% of top 20 votes. The 4th seed is going to have the Silver Snoopy. This is the Anniversary Snoopy Edition, 71.9%. So now it's getting real. Seeing that separation here, a full 10% jump in the percentage here compared to the 4 seed. In the final 3, we have the Diver 300M No Time to Die, another Bond watch, and the highest seed of any Seamaster model, receiving 72.9% of top 20 votes. The 2 seed is going to be another Moonwatch here, the Sapphire Sandwich, Black Dial, 74.7%. And then we have the 1 seed. What could it possibly be? Another Sapphire Sandwich, but this time white dial, 78% of the time in the top 20, being your highest seed in the tournament. So a couple interesting points when we look at the field of 32. 3 of the 4 collections from Omega were represented here, with only 1 collection missing from the tournament, the poor DeVille. So the DeVille did not have any representation here, despite having several watches make it into that initial first 100, did not get voted in and receiving enough top 20 votes for those that were eligible. In order of the collection, there is 1 constellation, that is the Globemaster Blue Dial. It's the only constellation that made the cut. Next is the Speedmaster collection with 11 models making the cut. And finally, the Seamaster leads the way with 20 different pieces of the tournament coming from that portion of the catalog. Focusing in deeper on the Seamaster just to get a sense of variety here, 9 are from the Diver 300M family, 8 from the Aquaterras, 2 Seamaster 300s, the Heritage editions, and 1 Soul Railmaster. Yes, technically it does reside underneath the Seamaster Heritage umbrella, so it falls there. But now let's jump into round number 1, 16 different matchups to go through. Now the 17 seed versus the 16 seed. So looking at these two closest seeds that we're gonna see in this round, the 17 seed, the Diver 300M Bronze Gold Iron Man, completely dominates this matchup, 71%, and another Diver 300 goes home, the Black Ceramic. Moving along, we have the Constellation Globemaster representing the 18th position, and then the 15th position, the Moonwatch Moonshine Gold Green. That is gonna win out, so there are no more constellations represented in the tournament. Now the 19th versus the 14th matchup. From here, we have the Caliber 321 Ed White going up against the Aquaterra Teakwood. A lot of Aquaterras in this tournament that we're going to see, and this one is going down. The 19th seed, another upset early on, 78%. So these are decisive wins coming from the lower seeds in the tournament early on. 20th seed versus the 13th seed, we have the Speedmaster 57 going up against the Seamaster 300, the Heritage Edition. And then again, 54%, lower seed, moving on, 57. Now we have a 21 versus 12 matchup, 2 Diver 300 meters. I like this matchup. We have at the 21 position, the Diver 300M Green Ceramic, the Seaweed going up against the 12 seed Diver 300M Blue Ceramic. Which one wins out? Classic Blue Ceramic, gonna win out against the green, getting 67% of the vote in that matchup. 22 versus 11, the Aquaterra Turquoise going up against the Diver 300M Bond Edition. Bond Edition wins easily here, 71% of the vote going in that way. 23 versus 10, now we have the Speedmaster Pilot versus the Aquaterra 43mm World Timer, and the World Timer moves on. Pretty tight matchup though, only 54% of the vote going to the World Timer. 24 seed versus the 9 seed. We have the Diver 300M Bronze Gold Green versus the Diver 300M Aluminum Black, and the Black Aluminum moves on, 61% of the vote. 25 seed versus the 8 seed. The Railmaster Center Seconds versus the Diver 300 White Polar Dial. This is the only Railmaster being represented, and it has a short run, only getting 23% of the vote. The Diver 300M moving on with 77%. Now we're getting to some tougher matchups for the lower seeds. We have the 26 seed, the Aquaterra 41mm Moonshine Gold Green versus the 7 seed, the Classic Hezolite Moonwatch. And the Moonwatch moves on very easily, 81% of the vote. Now we move to the next matchup, the Dark Side of the Moon, Apollo 8 versus the 6 seed, Aquaterra Black Lacquer. The Black Lacquer does win, but maybe a little tighter than some might suspect, given where it's positioned in the hierarchy of seeds, getting 65% of the vote. Now to the 28th seed, the Seamaster 300 Blue Dial versus the First Omega in Space. And the First Omega in Space, complete domination here, 81% of the vote going to the Speedmaster. A lot of Seamasters falling in this round number 1. 29 seed, the Aquaterra Small Seconds going up against the Silver Snoopy Award. This is gonna be a tough one, and the Silver Snoopy moves on, 81%. That seems to be the lucky number thus far. Last 3 decisions determined by the same amount of separation between the seeds. Now we have the Aquaterra Summer Blue going up against the 3 seed, the Diver 300M No Time to Die, 74%. A little tighter, but No Time to Die moves on to the next round. Now we have Speedmaster Moonphase going up against the Moonwatch Sapphire Sandwich, and the Moonwatch moves on, 72% of the vote. This one was actually closer than the Hezolite matchup. Surprising to see that, but I think the Moonphase Speedmaster on Speedmaster probably created some likely indecision for those that were voting. And then for the final matchup in round number 1, we have the 32 seed, the Planet Ocean 39.5 Summer Blue going up against the White Speedmaster. And as expected, White Speedmaster moving on, 84% of the vote going that way. Just to provide some context to what has happened after round number 1, we have 8 Seamasters remaining. If you remember at the beginning, the field of 32 contained 20 Seamasters, so a pretty rough round for the Seamaster family. 6 are going to be made up of the Diver 300 and then you have the Aquaterras coming in with the other 2. And speaking of a tough round, in round number 1 for the Aquaterra, that is the case, losing 75% of its combatants after 1 round. And now we have a perfect balance as well. We have 8 Speedmasters, 8 Seamasters. And from that, you could probably infer that the Speedmaster fared much better in the first round. So as much as there were many different Seamasters that made the top 32, it seems like the Speedmaster has most of their watches towards the upper echelon of what collectors like to consider as the best. We have multiple heritage models with the Snoopy as well. Now we move to round number 2, so the 9 versus 8 matchup. So the Diver 300M Aluminum Black going up against the Diver 300M White Polar Ceramic, and this one was tight. This is an interesting matchup. I'm sure these are cross-shopped quite frequently, and the winner goes to the 8 seed, 54% to the Polar. Now the 10th seed, the Aquaterra World Timer going up against the 7 seed Moonwatch Hezolite, and complete destruction here. The 82% vote going to the Speedmaster Moonwatch Hezolite. So the Hezolite taking it to every matchup that it's had thus far, so an easy win there. 11 seed versus the 6 seed. So what's gonna happen here? We have the Diver 300M Bond 60th Anniversary Edition going up against the Aquaterra Black Lacquer at the 6 seed. And another Aquaterra out of the mix. Black Lacquer, probably the best chance for the Aquaterra to make it all the way to the championship round. It's going home here in the round of 16. The Diver 300M 60th Anniversary Edition getting an upset here, 59% of the vote going for the 11 seed. Now we have the 12 seed, the Diver 300M Blue Ceramic Bezel and Dial versus the First Omega in Space. This one was a tough draw for the Diver 300M, the first Omega in space, moving on with 68% of the vote. Now the 20th seed moving into the final 16 because of the upset in the previous round, but it has a tough draw on this one. The 4 seed Speedmaster Silver Snoopy, and the Silver Snoopy gets 70% of the vote. 19 seed, we have the 321 Ed White going up against the 3 seed No Time to Die. I like this matchup here. This feels like a closer matchup than a 3 seed versus a 19 seed. I think maybe Speedmaster 321 could win this one out. It was close. However, 3 seed moves on without too much of a sweat. 57% goes to the No Time to Die. Now the 15 seed, the Moonshine Gold Green Dial Moonwatch, going up against another Moonwatch, now just the traditional Sapphire Sandwich version, and Sapphire Sandwich moves on. 69% of the vote going that way. And then for the final matchup in this round, we have the 1 seed Moonwatch Sapphire Sandwich White Dial going up against the 17 seed Iron Man Diver 300M. And the White Dial Speedy wins out 81% of the vote. I think one of the most interesting takeaways so far is just what has happened to the Seamaster collection. You saw 20 to start, now we're down to just 3. 5 of the 8 remaining are from the Speedmaster collection. Again, I think this is this idea. It's showing the depth that comes with the Seamaster family. That said, when you get to the pinnacle of popularity, Speedmaster does move the needle, seems to be a bit more. So now round number 3, we have the 5 versus 4 matchup, and the first Omega in space going up against the 4 seed Silver Snoopy, and this was a close matchup, very close, 51% going to the 4 seed, but the FOIS is going home. This was a tough one to determine, but the people have decided. Silver Snoopy moves on. 11 seed versus 3 seed matchup. Here is the Diver 300M No Time to Die against another Bond edition, so the Battle of the Bonds. What's gonna win? The 3 seed, No Time to Die, moves on, 61% of the vote. 2 seed versus 7 seed, we have the Speedmaster Moonwatch Hezolite against the Sapphire Sandwich. So this answers a broader question. What do you go for, Hezolite or the Sapphire Sandwich version? As someone who has a Hezolite on my wrist right now, I love the Hezolite. That is where I would go, but the people disagree with me. 65% going with the Sapphire Sandwich, but this does match generally what typically happens on the sales side as well, where people usually opt for the Sapphire Sandwich version. Now the 8 seed versus the 1 seed, the White Dial Speedy versus the Diver 300M White Polar Dial. 2 white dials, maybe the 2 top white dials from the Sport collection from Omega. Moonwatch moves on, 76% of the vote. And for the round of 4, we have 3 remaining Speedmasters and 1 Seamaster remaining, and No Time to Die. Moonwatch, 2 of them, then we have the Silver Snoopy, No Time to Die, that is the field. Let's see who moves on. At the first matchup, we are gonna have the No Time to Die versus the Moonwatch Sapphire Sandwich. Who moves on? 2 versus 3, and the No Time to Die, I guess it is time to die. It's going out of the tournament. There are no Seamasters remaining, 68% going to the Sapphire Sandwich. And then we have the 4 versus 1, the Speedmaster Silver Snoopy at the 4 seed, going up against the 1 seed, the Moonwatch White Dial. What is gonna win out? Close one here. One of the closest matchups of the tournament, just edging out. The 1 seed does survive to live another day, 51% going in favor of the White Dial Speedy. So it all comes down to this. 2 final watches, and yes, they are both Speedmasters, but a white dial versus a black dial. It's a question so many people ask themselves when looking at an Omega Speedmaster for the first time nowadays, but what do the people think? We asked the question, 1 winner, who could win out? The 2 seed Moonwatch Sapphire Sandwich Black Dial, the classic configuration, well, at least from the dial standpoint, versus the new kid on the block, the Moonwatch in a white dial, white Speedy, getting the 1 seed. It's had a pretty safe run so far. So 1 seed versus 2 seed. What is going to be the best watch determined by all of you? We had thousands of votes that were cast throughout this tournament, but there can only be 1 winner. 2 versus 1, and the winner of the best Omega watch tournament does not go to the 1 seed. It goes to the 2 seed, the classic black dial, getting 58% of the vote versus 42% going for the white dial Speedy. So the 1 seed did not win the tournament outright. We saw the 2 seed return to form. It's almost like the idea of the white dial Speedy is amazing when you factor in all of the different concepts. When it comes down to it though, for those that are looking between the two, I think the Classic does end up winning out more often than not. So are you guys surprised with the final result here? Did you expect this result? Were there any takeaways that you had as we were going throughout this tournament? Let me know in the comments down below. Do you agree with the results? Do you disagree? If you'd like us to continue this series, doing another tournament of this style, let us know what you would like to see next. Also, if you enjoyed this style of video, please give this one a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell icon. That's a great indicator that you want us to continue this going forward. And again, leave those comments down below. Also check out TeddyBaldassarre.com, full authorized dealer of 35 plus brands. Every purchase from our website comes with quick and fast fulfillment, dedicated customer support, and full factory warranty for all the products that we offer. In addition, if you're ever in the Cleveland, Ohio area and want to stop into our boutique, we'd absolutely love to be able to help you out with your next watch purchase. Whether online, in store, it's an absolute treat to do it. So please reach out to us. We'd love to have your business. Allow us to keep doing what we're doing here, and we love what we do. But guys, thank you again so much for watching. Be well, and I will see you all very soon.